He's already walking on the YouTube one. It's in the future. Oh, God.
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president.
Oh, he sounds like shit.
Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again.
We spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
And, you know, the fact of the matter is that he's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began.
Oh, look at his face. Look at his mouth.
We have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
Oof.
And what's happening? Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look.
Oh no.
The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by a neighbor coming in.
You're talking about abortion, man.
Here's the deal. What? There's a lot of young women are being raped by their in-laws.
Short-circuiting.
By their spouses. What? Brothers and sisters. It's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it.
And it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue.
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. We are living right now in a rat's nest because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies,
look at his fucking face. Look at his stupid fucking face. Old man.
Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse.
I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Whoa.
President Trump.
First of all,
He's mad.
Quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line.
Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy.
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. This guy told Trump, do whatever you want, and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want.
Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything.
You think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries?
Belarus.
And so if you want a war,
Putin's going to take Belarus.
What he's going to do, because
what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. But as far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one. All over the world, we're respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
Oh, he said it!
And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. Well, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
What?
I didn't have sex with a porn star. Every anchor every reasonable anchor.
He looks so
has
fucking confused, bro.
debunked
He's gonna walk
and
away.
Just the other day it came out where it was fully debunked. The fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now. And it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you, President Biden.
It's
There was
gonna
no
happen.
inflation.
Hasn't happened yet, but will happen. I promise.
The economy is flat on its back.
President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever.
H2O?
And we did. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that.
I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans,
he just doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show. Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. If he wins
The
this
question was
election,
childcare.
Our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance.
What would Trump do to make childcare more
We
affordable?
probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is.
what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost
The
3 years
COVID.
of, like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot.
What?
And we were getting very low numbers.
I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together. We need those machines. We need those machines. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate.
That was 100 years ago, Joe. That was 100 years ago.
A lot less competent.
Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns
layup for
about
Trump.
your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them. Both of them, as you know.
aced them.
We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2
It's
cognitive
Dunk City
tests.
right
I
now.
took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson.
He
who's
aced it,
a great
cognitive
guy,
test.
he was White House doctor.
I
And then
cleared
I
it.
took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what you're. Anyway, just take a look at what he says.
Oh, he tried to dunk back. That didn't work.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him.
No.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way,
Oh,
I
they're
told you
so
it's not
lame.
happening
They're
for
so
both.
lame.
You
This is
carry
like
on
real.
back.
He hates
You do
it.
it.
That's the biggest line. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was at 8
Oh,
handicap.
God. I want to die. Shoot me into the sun. Shoot me into the fucking sun right now.
Let's
You know
not
how
act
many
like
rounds-
children.
President Trump, we're going to
21
turn
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific concern